Good evening. My name is Miss Kudak, and this is a overview of what geometry is all about, which is what the class that your child is enrolled in this year is. So kids are going to get a class participation grade, and the class participation is worth 6 points every day, whether they're in person or virtual. In person, they just need to come with all the material that they need, their packets, a pen, their calculator, and a compass. And they just need to do their classwork while they're in class, and they'll keep their 6 points. At home for virtual, I have a soccer app on Google Meet that can tell whether exactly what time a student signed in at, what time they signed out at, and how long they stayed in. So as long as they're inside the meet for a full 40 minutes, they'll keep those 6 points. If they sign in late, they leave early, or maybe stay for only 10 minutes, they would lose 2 points for each of those situations. They're going to get a class participation grade. It will be posted in PowerSchool every week, and at the end of the quarter, their class participation grade is going to be worth 10%. Okay. For homework, what I did this year is it's hard to understand people when they're speaking with a mask on, especially through a computer at the same time. So I pre-recorded all of my lessons, and they're all YouTube videos. So for homework each night, kids are going to have to watch that YouTube video. And at the end of the YouTube video, there is a Google form. It's only 3 questions. I'm not asking them like crazy math questions. I'm just asking them some things that happened in the video. So if they answer those 3 questions in the Google form, that's how they're going to get credit for doing the homework for that night. Let's say I assign 10 videos throughout the quarter and they complete 8 out of 10 Google forms. Then their homework grade for the quarter, 8 out of 10, is going to be an 80%, and that will get posted into PowerSchool at the end of the quarter. Okay. Once they come into class, after they've watched that video, what's going to happen is I'm going to give a brief recap of what that video is all about, maybe important points or definitions that are important about that section, any formulas that they might need to know, and then the live stream part is when they're going to do their classwork. Okay, so they should all have copies of that. Again, I'll do a do now with them. They'll have time to ask questions. I'll go over the answers, and they'll receive the credit again for doing the classwork, whether they're in person or virtual. In person, obviously, I'll just walk around and check off that they did it. And again, if they're virtual, they're just going to have to upload a picture of their work into Google Classroom. Pretty much the same thing as with homework. If I assign 10 classwork assignments throughout the quarter and they do 7 out of the 10, then their homework grade for the quarter, or their classwork grade, their classwork grade for the quarter is going to be a 70. And that will go into PowerSchool once at the end of the quarter. And altogether, those 2 classwork homework grades are going to be 10% of their overall average for the year. Okay, on Fridays, my office hours are going to be from 9 to 11 a.m. And that is going to be basically like an extra help session. So kids know how to get in touch with me via Remind or Google Classroom to ask any questions that they have. If they ask questions outside of that time frame, I am absolutely going to answer it. I'm going to answer their questions, so I'm not really too concerned about the 9 to 11. And if we need to do a Google Meet, we will, but on Fridays, there is no Google Meet at this point. Again, that is subject to change if need be. For tests and quizzes, again, it won't matter whether you're in person or virtual. If you're in person, I'm going to physically hand each student a copy of the exam. They'll complete the exam during that period, and then they'll hand it in. Virtually, a copy of the test or quiz is going to appear on Google Classroom during their period. If they have a printer, they can print it out and then do it during that 40-minute period, and they're going to have to upload it by the end of the period again into Google Classroom. I can't stop the virtual kids from cheating, using notes and so on and so forth. So same thing goes for in person. If it happens to fall on a day where your child is in class, they're more than welcome to use their notes. I can't stop the kids at home, so I shouldn't be able to stop them while they're in school. But just please understand that if and when we come off this crazy hybrid model and we're back full time, then there's going to be no more open book tests at that point. Okay, tests are going to be 40% of the your grade for the quarter, and quizzes are 20%. And if you don't have a printer, the kids know that they can just look at the questions on their device, whatever it is, their computer, their cell phone, and they can do their work on a separate sheet of paper, and then they can just upload that through Google Classroom. Okay. Quarterly exams are normally 20% of their overall grade for the quarter. Again, with the craziness with everything going on, I'm not sure exactly what the district policy is going to be on that, so we're waiting further direction from the district. I keep telling the kids, let's just get through the first couple weeks and get into the flow of things before we start worrying about what's down the line. Same thing with the Regents exam. This class does lead to a Regents potentially in June. And at this point, New York State has not said that Regents exam is going to be canceled. So at this point, we're moving forward and acting like there's a Regents exam in June. If there's not a Regents exam, then it's just going to end up being a final exam that will be made by me. So some supplies that are needed for my class, some sort of calculator. If they have a TI-84 graphing calculator already, that is plenty for what they need. They really don't need the graphing calculator, though. They need a scientific calculator at best, and that is the picture that I posted right here that I'll circle. Okay, that picture right there is a scientific calculator. Really, the most important thing, the important functions that they need a button that says sine, cosine, and then tangent. As long as the calculator has those three buttons, the calculator is fine. Okay, they're available on Amazon. They're available at Staples, Office Max. CVS even sells them, and also whether you have an Android phone or an iPhone, the calculator app that's pre-installed is also fine for what we need. I am not going to make a big deal about kids using cell phones in class as calculators at this point. We have way bigger things to worry about. Okay, they also need a compass, which is pictured up on the right-hand side of the screen that I just boxed off. That's called a safety compass. I'll write it too, just so. You can get them on Amazon. It's $4 on Amazon. They are available in stores, and honestly, I've never bought one in store before, so I'm not sure exactly how much they are in store, so I'm not sure if $4 is considered a lot or not for it, but you can get them on Amazon as well. Okay. I suggest a 3-ring binder. Every chapter I'm going to give out a homework packet, a note packet, lots of handouts. We don't have a textbook, so again, best way to keep track of everything would be a 3-ring binder, but that's kind of up to the kids. If they want to bring, just a folder in with what they need for that chapter, that's fine, because I know they don't have lockers at this point. Again, trying to make things as easy as possible in this crazy environment that we're in right now. And the other thing is we just have to be cognizant that there is absolutely no sharing of supplies. Okay, we're following strict CDC guidelines that say I cannot lend them a calculator, I cannot lend them a pen, I cannot lend them a pencil. They cannot share between each other. Again, just to try to protect everybody. So having said that, again, that goes back to that class participation grade, just to really encourage them to make sure they bring everything they need. That's how they're going to keep those 6 points every day. If you need to contact me, my email address is shown here. It's tqdak@centralislip.k12.ny.us. I also have the Remind app. If you sign up for the Remind app, you are going to get every single message that I send to the kids. But through that app, you would also be able to text me if you have any questions or concerns that you wanted to get in touch with me about. So the kids know how this works, but in like the 2 part of your cell phone where you would normally type a number, you're going to type that number 81010, and then the text message that you're going to send to that number is at 8BE738A. And then if you just send that, it's going to automatically register you inside of that class. And again, you'll be able to get in touch with me after that. My phone number is 631-348-5000, extension 2536. That phone goes to no man's land. It doesn't ring anywhere. It literally, all you're going to be able to do is leave a voicemail, and again, then I'm going to play phone tag with you and have to end up calling you back. It's fine if you do it, but just realize that you're never going to actually, if you try to call that number, you're never going to actually get in touch with me. And that's pretty much everything that I have to tell about geometry. And again, if you need to get in touch with me, please, by all means, reach out. Stay safe.